Hello, welcome back to the Barbecue Network and Shabbat Shalom. I figured I would do a review for John Wick 3, formal name John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. I saw John Wick, or I intended to watch John Wick in theaters in 2014 when it came out, I believe. I hope I got the year right. When I watched it in the theater, it was, you know, with a broken projector kind of, so it was annoying me, and I also just didn't like the beginning of the movie. So I left and walked out of it and watched Nightcrawler instead. So I didn't see John Wick at the time. Then recently I saw John Wick 1 and John Wick 2 in their entirety. I didn't enjoy John Wick 1. I wouldn't say it was horrible, but I didn't think it was that good. Didn't really like the beginning, didn't really like much about it. Thought he was good in it. Keanu Reeves. I might be doing a Keanu Reeves marathon on the channel soon, depending on how much video I can upload per day and all that. I basically have seen every one of his movies that have been in wide release. There's a couple, maybe here or there I could pick out. But that might be something you can look forward to on the channel. John Wick 2, I saw recently, after I saw John Wick 1. This is just within a week or two ago. And I just thought it was way better than John Wick 1. Just upped all the action, better cinematography, better scale, better size to it all. Filmed in my former hometown of Rome, Italy. Very good scenery, a lot of good things in the movie. Only thing I didn't like, and I've heard a couple of people mention this, so I'm glad I'm not the only one saying it. This is, the people he's paired up against in these movies are not really his equals, even though they're trying to come off like they're equals. Like, I'm not scared of Common at all. I mean, I do have a martial arts background, but I'm not scared of a big, strong, lumbering Common. And he and Common have this pretty epic fight in part 2. So I'm able to pretend that it's not Common and pretend that it's someone that it is actually intimidating. But yeah, Common doesn't frighten me. I'd be able to knock him out pretty quickly, I'm pretty sure. So that's the only thing that's a little bit odd. And Common doesn't have a martial arts background as far as I know. Judging by his moves, I wouldn't say he does. Give him credit for getting up to the level that he got to, because that's a pretty epic fight in it. But the whole time, you always want to have where you're intimidated by the adversary, and that just doesn't occur to me. Now, I have a little bit of a thing to say. I had to get to the theater late to see John Wick 3. It was a pretty epic fight at the very beginning, so I'll maybe post my comments to the fight at the beginning of John Wick 3. But there's epic action throughout. Sure, there's some quote-unquote slow or story parts, whatever you want to call them. But I really do like where the John Wick 3 goes. In fact, I think it's, just in terms of the action that's offered in it, one of the best action movies ever made. Definitely. There's this scene where just, the inside of a building, whatever, it's pretty dark, and so much knife throwing, so much headshots, so much unbelievable action in that confined space. And then it swings into the part that I'm sure everyone's seen, where he's riding around on a horse through the city. I really like this part, though, where there's a horse, and then he just kind of chops the horse, not too hard, but just slaps the horse on the haunch or the shoulder area, and then the horse does this mule kick and just kicks the shit out of this one dude. Does that a couple times in the movie, actually, where he uses the horse's reflexes to do some pretty serious damage to his adversaries. That scene's incredible, just absolutely incredible. Probably a lot of green screen done on it and all that, but what I like is, these animals are not put in much danger, really. It's pretty incredible They look like they're just going with the flow of all the crazy action. So he goes and visits Angelica Houston at this. It seems like a movie theater, but when you go inside the movie theater, it's actually like a training school for assassins. I would assume they're doing like opera and dance training as well. So yeah, they got all aspects of life working there for them. So this will be a spoiler review as well. Um, Lawrence Fishburne, Ian McShane, and Angelica Houston all break the rules of whatever hitman's group this is to help John Wick in different ways. So Lawrence Fishburne is punished with 7 slices, and you assume that he's dead, but then he comes back later in the film. So they basically take a sharp sword and just slice him 7. I'm sorry if there's any video problem quality, but I really like Lawrence Fishburne and all the stuff he talks about with the pigeons, the birds, as being like his own mobile internet. I thought that was a pretty good scene, actually. I don't like this lady called the Adjudicator. I mean, I guess she's a good actress, but I'm not intimidated by her. So that's an issue I think with these movies is the villains are not intimidating. Now I didn't see the Mark Dacascos part as far as I know, so I gotta go back and watch that, which is I think in the beginning of the movie. So I actually wish that Mark Dacascos was in the movie more. I wish that other great action stars were in the movie more. And Angelica Houston helps John Wick to get away. The Adjudicator comes and sees her, tells her to hold out her hands, and then they shove a knife through Angelica Houston's hands, and she like barely reacts. So it's totally a weird scene. Then the action goes to Casablanca, Morocco, and I think that's a fantastic, one of the more memorable action scenes. Halle Berry is there, and she's got these 2 dogs, and sadly one of them gets shot actually, but you think maybe something bad's gonna happen to the dog, but the dog lives and just goes on to fight. So basically dogs will team up and start snarling up on people and then hold the adversaries so that they can get good headshots on them. The only thing I would say about that is, again, all the villains look the same. They're a bunch of rag-headed guys running around trying to kill them. So in that aspect, I feel that they could have done a little bit better, making each character they're trying to kill a little bit more developed or look a little bit different. But I don't want to go on too long about this film. I really definitely enjoy it quite a lot. John Wick goes and has to cut off his finger to make penance in it, so he's missing a ring finger the rest of the movie. I found that a little distracting. I kept looking to see if, CGI wise, if his fingers reattach, if, obviously he didn't cut off his real finger, so I was just trying to see computer graphics wise if his finger's still on there. The guy from Iron Chef, like the TV show Iron Chef, he plays like the main adversary kind of at the end. I think he does a good job, but again, I just don't take him that seriously as an adversary, and especially he's like trying to get John Wick's autograph or something earlier. So that part's kind of crazy. So goes full circle, like he's told to go back and kill Ian McShane by some like heavy, big dude out in the desert, because he almost dies after Halle Berry helps him. He drives her, but she takes all his water. So then, anyway, they send him back to New York to go kill Ian McShane, and then he kills. They make it that you can kill people at the hotel. So there's this vicious sequence, just killing people left and right at the hotel. Pretty awesome, but obviously, I mean, the earlier action's a little bit better in my opinion, but it's still great action. And then he's almost defeated by these 2 guys, and then he almost defeats those guys and doesn't kill them as a sign of respect, I guess. Then he's able to take care of the Iron Chef guy after maybe like 15 minutes of struggling. And then, surprisingly, Ian McShane, to save his own life after all this, just shoots John Wick maybe 6 or 7 times, and John Wick falls off a building. That's how the movie ends. So it definitely sets up for another one, and we'll see where the action goes. But like I said, there's a lot of spoilers here. I hope you enjoyed the movie. I definitely did. I really don't care what the story is. I find it to be somewhat of an interesting story and somewhat just kind of like whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of directions they can go for the next one, and I guess I described a lot of the movie. I hope everyone likes it out there. I hope you enjoy watching the movie. And obviously, don't take it too seriously. It's kind of an unrealistic type of situation in the movie, but definitely one worth checking out in the theater if you can. And this has been a review of John Wick 3 on the Barbecue Network, and Shabbat Shalom. Thanks so much.